In this video, I'm going to show you how my Redstone display works that I am building in survival for my Redstone computer project onto Whimsicraft server. First of all, the visible part of the display. There are 12 segments with each of them having 24 pixels and one border segment for some special effects. To update the display segments, there will be two ways. One way is updating an entire line and the other is to update only one segment. Overall, it takes about 30 seconds to update one entire line. Let's dive into the redstone that makes this work. By pressing the button, the redstone circuit is started and now many things happen at the same time. In the copper bulb line, the data that should be displayed is stored. The starting pulse now activates this property flip-flop, which keeps this clock running for the entire process. The clock now iterates over the display memory, sending one data segment after another to the display. On its way to the display, the data is getting converted multiple times. The memory outputs 6 bits that get sent into the graphics memory, where the information of how all symbols look like that can be shown on the display is stored. Here, it gets decoded by logic gates looking for a unique signal, and after finding the right place, the graphics memory outputs the image in form of 6 4-bit signals. After applying some timings, the data now arrives at the display and gets stored behind the redstone lamps, which now show the wanted symbol. Every time the clock now updates, this happens again, and it happens exactly 12 times until the display is completely updated. Yeah, okay, this was a little bit too fast, so let me explain it here with this demo version in my creative world. First of all, let's set the copper bulb memory to a random value. By sending a short pulse into the pistons, they transfer the signal with the help of the rails and the observers into the dispensers, where the signal is temporarily stored. In the graphics memory, where stored how every symbol looks like on the display, the signal now gets compared with every entry, and if it's finding a matching entry, the information stored in this entry is now getting sent to the display. With some very complex timings, the display now instantly stores the data and projects it onto the display. And now you can see the letter. And to make it clear, the display showed here is only simplified and not really working. Let's have a closer look at the graphics memory. In the yellow part, one symbol that can be shown on the display is stored. In this memory cell, for example, you can see that an 8 is stored. So, if you now want to be able to display all the letters from A to Z and numbers from 1 to 10 and some extra symbols, you need a lot of those memory modules. Because of that, this is so big for my real display. The orange part is for comparing the 6-bit input signal from the copper bulb storage with the internal memory. If it finds the same 6-bit signal inside itself that was also sent by the copper bulb memory, the graphics memory now knows what should be displayed and activates the corresponding yellow part. The comparing works so. The 6-bit input signal from the memory allows 2 to the power of 6 minus 1 different inputs, so there can be 63 unique symbols stored. For each symbol, I could now assign a random unique value from 1 to 63 in binary, but to make it more easy to understand, let's assign the binary equivalence from 1 to 9 to the numbers 1 to 9, 0 is assigned to 10 in binary, and the letters A to Z are assigned to the binary values 20 to 45. There will be more symbols like plus and minus, but for those I currently don't know which values they will have. Now let's see how I implemented this in Minecraft. The comparing circuit I showed first is the one I'm using for the display, but the one I will use to explain how it works is exactly the same, but instead of below the orange part, it's above it. Let's input some numbers I already assigned to this memory. 1 in binary, 2 in binary, 3 in binary, 4 in binary, 5 in binary, and for the last 20 in binary, which we assigned before to A. Now let's zoom in to see how it works. Quick reminder, the 6 orange lines are the input and the yellow line connected to the redstone lamps and the redstone torch is the output. So if now the redstone torch gets activated, something will be printed on the display, which is here symbolically shown with the redstone lamp. If you now want to activate the redstone torch and print something on the display, the magenta line you see here has to be off. This part here is looking for A, which is encoded with 0101000, which is the current input. so the redstone lamp is on. So if the input is expected to be off, then there has to be a redstone torch on top of the magenta line, so that this will also be off if the input is off. And if the input is expected to be on, there has to be a redstone wire on top, so that the redstone torch below it is off and so will not activate the magenta redstone part. If there's now any input on or off that shouldn't be off, the magenta line gets powered and nothing will be printed on the display from this unit. Okay, that's it. I have now everything explained I wanted to explain, and I hope you enjoyed this form of video and that you learned something from it. And I now have a completely finished display. See you in the next one.